Hello and welcome to the 7th week of Season 21, Season of the Deep, starting on July 4th, 2023. So for Week 7, let's kick things off with our Legacy rotation, starting with the Forsaken expansion.
Ready if you are. Let's see what's out there.
The Dreaming City this week is at a strong curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in Ria Silvia, and has the Dark Monastery mission for the next week. The Blind Well features Taken Enemies and the Plague Inamina. The Ascendant challenge this week will be Ouroboros, which can be located over in the Aphelions Rest Lost sector on the Dreaming City. Next up, the Shadowkeep expansion. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is in the Deep. The Trove Guardian is located in the Hellmouth. The Wandering Nightmare is the Nightmare Resortal in Sorrow's Harbour. And the Nightmare hunts this week will be Tanix, Isolation, Zydron, Servitude, and Gaul, Rage. For our Beyond Light expansion, on Europa this week, Praxis the Technocrat will be the Empire Hunt, Cadmus Ridge will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Safeguard. For the 30th anniversary expansion, we have the loot rotation for Dares of Eternity, which will be on Week 3's rotation with the Scatterhorn armor set and the Lightkin armor set being available. The weapons available this week are the Kinetic Rapid Fire Frame Auto Rifle Chroma Rush, the Kinetic Lightweight Frame Grenade Launcher Ignition Code, the Void Rapid Fire Frame Pulse Rifle Grid Skipper, the Kinetic Lightweight Frame Sidearm Farewell, the Solar Pinpoint Slug Frame Shotgun Sonja's Tail, the Void Rapid Fire Frame Machine Gun Shattered Cipher, the Arc Precision Frame Fusion Rifle Main Ingredient, the Kinetic Adaptive Frame Sniper Rifle Long Shadow, the Arc Omolon Adaptive Frame Sidearm Last Dance, the Kinetic Aggressive Frame Shotgun Toil and Trouble, the Solar Rapid Fire Frame Shotgun Wishbringer, and the Void Adaptive Frame Pulse Rifle Last Perdition. For the Witch Queen expansion, the Witch Queen weekly story mission is the Ritual, where the modifier is Fire Pit, as well as Barrier and Unstoppable champions. Also this week you will have Altar of Reflection's Choice, and Altar of Reflection Insight. The Wellspring activity has been updated to include a featured Throne Word weapon, Veritas armor, and a weapon pattern as its rewards. For the Lightfall expansion, the weekly mission is No Time Left, with Barrier and Unstoppable champions, locked loadouts at Legend difficulty and higher, Void Threat, Void and Strand shields, Pestilence, Arc and Strand Surge, with overcharged machine guns and galvanized on hero difficulty only. The Partition mission will be Hard Reset, Contest mode enabled with Barrier and Unstoppable champions, Arc Threat, Scorched Earth, Pestilence and Martyr modifiers, Arc and Strand shields with Void and Strand surges. And the Vex incursion this week will be Liming Harbour. In addition, the weekly Lightfall reset also refreshes the Pinnacle drop for the Node Override Avalon exotic mission on the EDZ. For the Season of the Deep, the featured fishing pond will be on the EDZ. Raids and Dungeons. The Root of Nightmares raid challenge this week is the third encounter, Macrocosm, called Cosmic Equilibrium. Players must swap all of the dark planets to the left side of the room and all of the light worlds to the right. The Kingsfall raid challenge this week is the second encounter, War Priest, called Devious Thievery. Players must steal the brand of the Initiate within a couple of seconds of taking the brand claimer's buff. The Vow the Disciple challenge this week is the fourth encounter, Rolk, called Looping Catalyst. This is where Guardians must not lose the leeching force before the damage phase. The Vault of Glass challenge this week is the third encounter, Templar, called Out of Its Way, where you must keep the Templar from teleporting. The Deepstone Crypt challenge this week is the second encounter, Atrax 1, called Copies of Copies, where you must not send any Atrax 1 replicant debuffs into the airlock/space. And the Garden of Salvation challenge this week is the fourth encounter, Sanctified Mind, called 0 to 100, where you must fully fill each conflux with 30 motes within 10 seconds of initially banking the first set of motes. Your Pinnacle raid will be the Last Wish over on the Dreaming City, which means all challenges will be available for each encounter. These are the first encounter, Kali, called Summoning Ritual. Players must activate and cleanse all 9 plates, then kill all 9 knights and ogres before damaging Kali. The second encounter, Shirochi, called Witch Witch. Guardians must not get hit or take damage from Shirochi's Arc Blast. The third encounter, Morgoth, called Forever Fight. Players must not kill the small ogres during the encounter. The fourth encounter, Vault, called Keep Out. Guardians must ensure that no Might of Riven Knights make it to the center chamber during the Vault fight. And the fifth encounter, Riven, called Strength of Memory, where Guardians must not shoot the same Riven Eye twice. Also, with the Last Wish being the featured raid, this does mean that you can farm the final boss for a chance at the exotic heavy fusion rifle, 1000 Voices. And the Pinnacle dungeon for this week will be the Duality over on the Derelict Leviathan on the Moon. Next up, challenges. Frontline Salvager 7. Complete 3 salvage or deep dive activities whilst wearing Season the Deep armor. Additionally, defeat 10 bosses and mini-bosses anywhere in the system. 4 challenge XP+. Salvage Legend. Complete salvage on Legend difficulty. 4 challenge XP+. Salvage Munitions. Defeat 300 targets with seasonal weapons. Defeated Guardians or combatants defeated in salvage or deep dive activities grant additional progress. 4 challenge XP+. Fleeting Glory. Complete Crucible matches in the competitive playlist. Earn bonus progress for wins. 4 challenge XP++ and Bright Dust. High Value Hunter. Defeat powerful combatants in Gambit. Earn bonus progress for defeating high value targets. 4 challenge XP++ and Bright Dust. And Grand Master. Complete any Nightfall strike on Grand Master. 4 challenge XP++ and Bright Dust.
Hello!
As a reminder, your daily Lost Sector will show you a flag outside which will give you details of threats, shields, champions and exotic armor you will find inside. But if you're new to the game or using an alternate character and can't find the flag outside, you will have to run through the Lost Sector normally to have it show up on your map as a Legend/Master, which you can either do solo or with a fire team, but you will only be able to earn a chance at the exotic drop when completing solo. Tuesday, July 4th will be Vel's Labyrinth on the Cosmodrome for exotic boots, Arc Threat, Void and Arc Surges, Arc and Solar Shields, Fire Pit Modifier with Barrier and Unstoppable Champions. Wednesday, July 5th will be Exodus Garden 2A on the Cosmodrome for exotic gauntlets, Void Threat, Arc and Void Surges, Void Shields, Scorched Earth Modifier with Barrier and Overload Champions. Thursday, July 6th will be the K1 Revelations on the Moon for exotic chests, Void Threat, Arc and Strand Surges, Arc Shields, Fire Pit Modifier, Overcharged Machine Guns with Barrier and Unstoppable Champions. Friday, July 7th will be the K1 Crew Quarters on the Moon for exotic helmets, Arc Threat, Arc and Strand Surges, Solar Shields, Hot Knife Modifier, Overcharged Glaives with Barrier and Overload Champions. Saturday, July 8th will be the K1 Logistics on the Moon for exotic boots, Void Threat, Arc and Void Surges, Arc and Solar Shields, Hot Knife and Chafe Modifiers, Overcharged Sniper Rifle with Barrier and Overload Champions. Sunday, July 9th will be the K1 Communion on the Moon for exotic gauntlets, Solar Threat, Arc and Strand Surges, Solar and Void Shields, Arachno Modifier, Overcharged Linear Fusion Rifle with Barrier and Overload Champions. And finally, back round to Monday, July 10th will be Sepultura on the Throne World for exotic chests, Solar Threat, Arc and Strand Surges, Arc and Solar Shields, Fire Pit Modifier, Overcharged Fusion Rifle with Barrier and Unstoppable Champions.
Lead the way.
The Grandmaster Nightfall selection node returns this week, bringing with it our 7th featured Nightfall of the season, which will see us face off against Setkiss Prime in the Devil's Lair Nightfall over on the Cosmodrome, where you have a chance to get a Pinnacle engram if you complete the Nightfall with a score of 200k or more. This Nightfall is free to play. You will be able to earn high-end gear for your characters, including the Nightfall featured weapon, exotic gear, enhancement cores, enhancement prisms, ascendant shards and adept Nightfall ciphers. The higher the Nightfall difficulty, the more common the drop will be, with the featured weapon and exotic gear being uncommon at hero difficulty to being common with ascendant shards in Grandmasters. Legend and lower Nightfalls will have 4 Barrier and 8 Overload champions, with 5 Solar, 8 Void and 17 Arc Shields. Masters will have 4 Barrier and 15 Overload, with 5 Solar, 8 Void and 8 Arc Shields. Your Nightfall modifiers are Hero difficulty, maximum effective level 1765. Matchmaking is available. Enemies have extra shields. Champions foe, you will face Barrier and Overload champions. You can either use intrinsic exotics, use a subclass debuff, or unlock anti-champion mods from the seasonal artifact. Arc threat, 25% increase to incoming arc damage. Arachno, when defeated, Fallen Vandals spawn web mines at their feet. Overcharged weapons. Weapons overcharged from the seasonal artifact are active in this activity. Kinetic weapons do increased damage when your subclass element matches an active surge. Arc Surge, 25% bonus to outgoing arc damage. Strand Surge, 25% bonus to outgoing strand damage. Overcharged Linear Fusion Rifle, 25% bonus damage with linear fusion rifles. Galvanized, combatants have more health and are more difficult to stun. Legend difficulty, maximum effective level 1815, includes all previous modifiers except Galvanized. No matchmaking. Equipment locked, you will be unable to change your equipment once the mission starts. Master difficulty, maximum effective level 1820, includes all previous modifiers except Galvanized. Champions mob, This difficulty adds more champion enemies. Togetherness, base health regen is reduced. If near another player, health regen is increased. Grandmaster difficulty, maximum effective level 1815, includes all previous modifiers except Galvanized. Join in progress disabled. Extinguish, if your fire team falls in a restricted zone, your team is returned to orbit. Limited revives, gain additional revives by defeating champions, up to a maximum of 20. Contest mode, which caps your power level to make enemies more of a challenge. And Chafe, radar is disabled. To combat champions this season, you have access to subclass counters as well as a choice of intrinsic anti-champion artifact mods, which are Anti-Barrier Auto Rifle, Overload Scout Rifle, and Overload Trace Rifle. You also have exotic weapons and armor that can help with intrinsic mods as well. For Anti-Barrier, the Kinetic Bow Wishender, the Kinetic Linear Fusion Rifle Arbalest, the Kinetic Pulse Rifle Revision 0, the Solar Energy Hand Cannon Ariana's Vow, the Solar Heavy Sword The Lament, and the Titan Gauntlet Second Chance, which gain a second charge of assured throw melee, which becomes shield piercing and stuns barrier champions. And for Overload, the Void Energy Bow Le Monarch, the Arc Energy Linear Trace Rifle Divinity, the Arc Heavy Machine Gun Thunderlord, and the Warlock Exotic Boots the Secant Filaments, which when you drop an Empowering Rift, any weapon that is fired from inside the well can cause an Overload champion to be stunned. The Nightfall featured weapon to obtain this week will be the Kinetic Adaptive Frame Sidearm, the Buzzard. The Buzzard has a base impact of 49, the range of 36 and stability of 67. It can roll with Frenzy, Rangefinder and Kinetic Tremors, with Pulse Monitor, Perpetual Motion and Overflow. It has the origin trait of Stunning Recovery, where if you stun a champion you partially refill the magazine, trigger health regen and improve your recovery for a short duration. And Vanguard Vindication, where final blows with the weapon grant a small amount of health. Lord Shaxx brings momentum control to the Crucible for the 7th week of the season. Momentum control is a 6v6 PvP mode which is a variation on the regular control mode, where every weapon is significantly higher in lethality, meaning that you can take out your opponents much faster than normal. Respawns are instant, and defeating enemy players in momentum control will grant faster regeneration on your melee, grenade and super. Players get increased damage resistance when they activate a super, to help counteract that little bit of extra damage that the guns give out. The mode also has increased capture speed on points and radar is removed for every player. Achieve victory by capturing zones and defeating opponents. And Clash will be returning this week in the Relentless Crucible playlist. Clash is a 6v6 PvP mode where level advantages are disabled. Points are gained through scoring kills against the opposing team. Players are not penalised for low map control and can bunker down together or fan out as they see fit. Strength in numbers is paramount as a lone player can be picked off very quickly by a team shooting enemies. Heavy ammo can swing the balance of a match, so controlling the box can be the key to winning. Super usage both offensively and defensively is one way to break the deadlock.
Delightful!
Trials of Osiris Dominion will be back once again at the weekend with some new rewards for players who do make it to the lighthouse and open the chest. These include the Hero's Wake Exotic Ghost Shell, the Valiant Memory Exotic Ship, the Survivor's Journey Exotic Sparrow, and the new Trials shader, Glorious Patina. Trials of Osiris Dominion is a 3v3 PvP high-stakes game mode with a twist of capturing points. In Dominion, 2 teams of 3 go head-to-head in a battle for control of a capture point. Teams can either work together to capture the control point or eliminate the enemy team to win the round. Only available from Friday reset until Tuesday weekly reset, Trials gives every player the chance to show off their PvP skills to obtain some of Destiny's most sought-after weapons and armour. Players that compete in Trials of Osiris will have all of their games tracked to a passage card, a ticket purchased from Saint 14 in the lower hangar of the tower. Winning rounds and matches in Trials will grant exclusive weapons, armour, Pinnacle gear, Masterwork material and even Adept gear for the most skilled players who can reach the lighthouse with a flawless ticket of 7 games won and no losses. 5 round wins will bag you the match for your passage card. By competing in Trials you do have a chance to pick up 2 Pinnacle engrams from playing each week, one from 50 round wins and the other from winning 7 games. These do not have to be done all in one go, but you do have to complete them before the weekly reset.
That is amazing.
Plus next week you can enjoy bonus reputation all week long in Crucible, Gambit and Vanguard Ops playlists, bonus rewards in Nightfalls and bonus exotic fish drop rates at all fishing locations to celebrate Bungie Day. And that's it for the 7th week of Season of the Deep. Thank you for watching. Allons-y.
Guardian down.